Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's tutorial, and I'll be showing you how to cut the 180-degree circle. Okay, so for the 180-degree circle, that's the flare, all you need to do is to fold your fabric in a bias form, and then you divide your waist circumference by 3.14. That's the radius for the waist circumference. You divide by 3.14. So my waist circumference is 34, and I divided by 3.14. I got 10.8. But the closest on the tape rule here is 10.75. So I'm going to use 10.75 to get my waist circumference. That's the radius for my 180-degree circle. Okay, so I'm going to just place it on the fabric here, and I'll mark that point. So in order for me to have a perfect circle, I'm going to trace from that point to the apex of my fabric. Here I have 14 and quarter. So I'm just going to place it at the edge there. Place it at the edge here and keep moving the tape rule at the tip here. And then you just curve it out. And you measure the length of, so you cross check, and you see that you have almost the same thing. Okay, if not enough, if it's too much, just raise your circle by half or a quarter inch, and you do the shaping at that point. Okay, so you just measure the length of your flare. Mine is 25 inches, so 25 plus half inch to join the flare to the upper bodice, and then 1 inch to to sew the hem of the flare. So that's 26.5, and that's what I'll be marking from top down. 26.5, and you just you go around the circle like that. So I'm going to do the same thing for the back block, but I'll fix my zipper allowance at the center of the back block. Here is what I have. You can see that I raised mine by a 3/4 inch so that I can have a perfect radius at the top here. So I'm going to take my fabric again and fold for the back block. And I'm just going to place this one on it, and I'll cut it out. So I folded for the back block, and I placed the front block on it directly. Mind you, you leave half an inch or 1 inch at the center here for the back block zipper allowance, and then you just cut out the shape of the flare. There you go. I have my front block and my back blocks. That's all about the flare 180-degree circle. For the upper block, my half length is 15, and so I'm going to add 1 inch for the joining to the shoulders and joining to the flare, the lower block. And so you can see that I folded my fabric into 4, and I left 1 inch here for the zipper allowance. I left 1 inch for the zipper allowance, and I place this here. So I'm going to be measuring from from in, out. So this is the center front, and the zipper allowance is the center back. So I start my measurement from the center front. Okay, and then my shoulder measurement, the half of my shoulder measurement is 14, half is 7. So I'm going to put that there. My armhole length is 18. That's 9. So I'm going to mark 9, half of it 9, and at that point I'll put my shoulder measurement as well, 7. And so I connect the dots. And so I'm going to get my bust point. my shoulder to my bust point is 10, so I'll mark 10.5 because of the half 0.5 used in joining the shoulders. Then my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches, so I'll put 13.5, and my half length is 15, so I'm just going to put plus 1 inch, that is 16. So I'll put the quarter that you divide your bust circumference by 4, that's the quarter, is what you put on the front, on the fabric. So 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. So I'm going to put that there. And my under bust is 32 divided by 4 is 8. So that's what I'm going to use for my half length measurement. Okay, and this is a freehand cutting, so you can be flexible as you like it. So I'm going to put my allowance, my seam allowance and dart allowance on the under bust. I'll have 2.5. I'm using 2.5, while on my bust I'm just going to put 1 inch because the dart isn't going to get to the it's not going to get to the bust. And so I'll take my French curve and just create my armhole curve there. So this is the basic armhole curve, and then because this is the front block, you're going to do a separate armhole curve for that. You divide this armhole length by 2. This is 4.5, and then from this point I'm just going to go in a bit like this so that it would not puff at the front. So I need to shape in my armhole there. Now to mark my neck, so I'm going to use 2.5 inches neck depth for the front and 1 inch for the back because it's going to have a collar, and then the width I'll use 2.5 as well. So you just create your curve like that, and you create your slant on the shoulder slant 1 inch, and so we cut it out. So for the sleeve, it's going to have an elastic band, so I've folded it this way, and I'm going to use length 12. So you just create your curve like this, and then I'll use 10 here because it's going to have an elastic bit. So we'll cut 2 of this. So I've picked my darts on both the front and back blocks. You can see the darts here. And so you take the flare of the front block, you open it up like this, and you sew it to the, at the center, you join it to, yeah, the upper block. I'm done joining the upper to the lower block. So I'm going to take this is the back block now, and I'll place the right side of the front block on it, so I'll be able to join my shoulders. I'll join my shoulders at the top, and then I'll join the side seam, and I'll also join the zipper allowance down there. So I'm going to measure the length of my zipper, and I'll sew the remaining part down here. You can see how beautiful this looks. So once you're done, I'm going to fix my zipper now, and I'll show you how to do the sleeve. For this sleeve, we want to create channel for the half-inch elastic band. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the hem of my sleeve and fold it this way, about 3/4 inch, and I'll top stitch down. I'll do that for 2 sleeves. For the elastic band, I'll be using 10 inches round, 10 inches. So just cut 11, 2 of these 11. Now I'm going to put my safety pin in there, on one side of the elastic band, and then I will pass it through the tunnel or the channel that I have created. Keep moving. And you do that for the 2. So now I want to show you how to fix your pocket into a dress. So you're going to mark your half length. My half length is 15 inches. And so I'll come down by 1 inch from my half length. And then you would have cut this, this shape for your pocket block, for your pocket. You cut 2 of that, and then you open up the side seam of your dress. And so this is the right side, this is the wrong side. So you pick the right side of the pocket, and you place it against the right side of the dress, like this, and you're going to pin it all the way. Just pin it down. And so you do the same for the other side of the dress. The right side facing the right side. Like this. And so you have that. So you're going to do this for both left and right side. So now you're going to sew your allowance, your seam allowance down, and then you just turn your hand into the pocket block and you sew round it. So you sew round it, and then you come out this way and you continue your sewing to the lower part of the dress. So this is how to fix your pocket on the side seam of your dress. So here is the pocket that has been fixed, and then you just turn it in. Yeah, then you're going to give this a good press. Okay, and that's it. That's your pocket. Thanks for watching. Bye. So here is my pocket that has been fixed. So all I'm going to do is just give this a good press, and then you can push it back in. There you go. So that's just the simple way of fixing your pocket on the dress block. Thanks for watching. Bye. Now I've passed my elastic band into the hem of the sleeve, and then I joined the sleeves together. So I'm going to take the bodice, and then you turn it like this to the wrong side. And so I'll open this up, open up the side seam, and you turn the sleeve to the right side. Okay, and so you place the seam, above the seam of the dress. And so I'm going to pin this together. Okay, and then I'm going to pin the center at the top to the center of the sleeve at the top. And so you pin this together, and then I'm just going to sew this on my machine. You start sewing from the armhole side, this armhole side. And so when you come up this way, whatever is remaining here before the shoulder joining, you're going to pleat it or do gathers, the gathering stitches above here for the sleeve. Here is my sleeve. You can see how it aligns very beautifully. Okay. Yeah, it's beautifully aligned. So now for the collar, you're going to, create a slant. You fold the neckline this way and you create a slant, from the center neck to the shoulder joining. So here is about 4.5 inches. Using that 4.5 inches, so I'm going to measure that round. You can measure it separately. You open up the neckline and you measure round, or you can do it like this. Here is 8.5. So that's, by the time I open it up, it gives me 17 inches for my neckline, the collar I'm going to make. So for my collar, I'm going to use the doll face satin, and I'll fold to the wrong side. Yeah. So remember, mine is 17 inches. So I'm just going to mark 18 inches for the width of my collar, and then 2 inches for the length of my collar. And so I'll just cut that out, 18 inches by 2 inches. And that's what I have here already. You cut 2 pieces of that, and then I added stay. There's the stay interfacing to strengthen the collar. I don't want to use the collar stay or the peplum stay because it's going to be hard, but I just want something malleable like this. So that's what I have. And then for the design on the collar, I cut 9 inches. I cut 9 inches by 4.5 inches. Okay, so you cut 2 of that, 2, and then you're just going to fold it like this, and then you just create a slant. I created a slant, from 7 inches, I slanted it into 9 inches. And so I'll take this to the machine and I'll sew, this slant this way. I'll leave the top open so I can turn it out. You sew this downwards, and you leave the top open. Now I'm done sewing, so I'm going to just create a notch at the corners. Okay, create a notch. So you're going to turn this out, out. So with my screwdriver, I'm turning that out. So you're going to iron this and give it a good press so that it lays beautifully. Now I'm done doing that, and what I want to do right now is to place these two at the center of my my dress, at the center here. So you're going to top stitch to the front neckline. Look at that. You're going to top stitch to the front neckline like this. You set it properly and you take a round. So now I just took a piece of my old lace and then I cut out the selvage, this selvage part. You can decide to buy the ready-made collar, yeah, for this design, or you can create yours by yourself. So you can see this. So I marked the center, I notched the center, and then I already used a bit of fire, you know, to smoothen the edge of my lace so that it doesn't frill. It doesn't frill at all. I used fire. So I'm going to place this across like this. Don't worry, you're going to trim off any excess. And you put it this way. So I wanted to create a V, just a little V that is going to be at the center. So you place the second part as a facing for the collar, and you put it above it. So you're going to sew ½ an inch across like this. So once you're doing that, once you're done doing this, sewing this together, you put the seam behind, you open it up like this, and then you're going to top stitch so that this can lay properly. You're going to top stitch from top down. You see this beauty? So now I'm going to take the main block of the dress, okay, and you hold this together, the center to the center. Make sure you iron this, okay? So the center to the center, you place that here at the center. So it's going to fall like this. It's going to fall like this. So you can decide to do this separately, okay, where you begin from inside out. So you place the seam of the back. We're going to close up this at the end of the day. So you place the seam at the back and you sew it round like this. You sew this round first from inside. Now that I'm done sewing that, I'm going to trim off this lace so it can be even with the allowance here. So you fold it backwards like this, turn it like this, you fold backwards, and so you're going to sew in this extra inch on both sides of the collar. Just sew this extra inch. Once you're done doing that, you notch this point, and then you turn it in out. Look for a sharp pointed stuff to bring it out. And so at this place, you're going to fold in the satin. You fold that in, and then you lay it on the lace in the inner part. So you're going to fold it this way, okay? You see that? You're going to fold it that way, and so you top stitch the satin. You top stitch it round the neckline. Only the satin round the neckline. I love it. I love this. So you can see that this lays properly. So all you need to do is to just fold this in behind, and then you can just hem it. Just hem it down, or you just top stitch like this and have it stay at the back. Okay, you do that for both sides. You just fold double, yeah, and then that's all. This is so beautiful, so beautiful. You can see how neatly it lays on the neckline. So I hope you try this and then you show me your result when you are done. Okay, look at that. So ensure you cut your collar on bias, so it can lay properly around the neckline. Thank you.